Hello and welcome to our video recording on how to declare and assign variables in Java. Now that we have looked at the theory of variables, of primitives and non-primitives, let's get back to doing some actual coding. And these are going to be my notes. These are the topics that we will see today. Okay, now let's get our hands dirty. Let's open up our Eclipse workspace, and we're going to continue from where we are left off. The only thing is, let's set up our workspace. First thing we do is we look at our tree or package explorer. We see that the last project we were working on was hello, and it is under section 1_1. So since we moved on to new section, let's actually go up to the SRC folder, right click, go hover over new, and find package. So let's create new package under our SRC folder, and we're going to name it as a continuation of our naming convention, section 1_2. We're not going to use point. Reason is it's invalid character. We're going to dive into those at a later stage, but for now, remember, you cannot use dot while naming packages or classes per se. Section 1_2. Let's create this package, click finish. Now we see an empty package under our SRC folder on the same level as others. Right click on this empty package called section 1_2, hover over new, create a new class. Because for us to do anything in Java, we need to create a class or similar type first. And we're going to call this class variables. Okay, V capital. Remember, class names start with capital letter and continue with camel case. So variables demo would be written with D capital, but I'm going to avoid that now. So just type in variables as a name and click finish. And Eclipse is automatically going to create a new class space for us. It will automatically define the location on being package section 1_2. It's gonna define this class to be public, and name is variables. And it opened up curly braces for us, a space for us where we can code. So let's press enter a few times. Let's open up our space, and keeping our tidiness, what we first do is we need to create our main method. And if you want to run anything in Java, we need to have main method for the class. Public static void main open parentheses string square brackets args stands for abbreviation for args. Open your curly braces. You can close it here, or you can simply press enter here, and Eclipse is going to close those curly braces for you automatically. Okay, again, let's open up our space. Now we don't need this space. Okay, let's keep our code tidy. Now, we looked at the variables, we looked at data types, we looked at the primitives and non-primitives. So let's look at what is a declaration. What do we mean by declaring a variable? What we mean is we need to define the container type, right? So let's start with the smallest numeric variable is byte, right? When I start typing byte, I'm already letting Java compiler know that, hey, I'm creating a container of type byte. And I need to give a name to this container. Let's give it a name hour or hours, right? And we said in Java, if you want to complete any statement, you have to use semicolon, okay? What did we do? We said create a container byte and call it hours. Let's write a comment here. Declaring, not creating, declaring. These are power vocabulary components. Declaring a container of type byte, right? Now, the same suit we can follow for short, right? Let's not comment here. Short, for example, what can we do? Days, right? The same int years, or years is gonna be to population of a country. You see what I'm doing here? Semicolon, close the statement. What I'm doing is, even though my class starts with capital letter, we said that our methods are going to start with lower letter. The same naming convention applies to our variables, okay? Our variables start with a lowercase letter and they continue with a camel case. Every other word within this variable name should be capitalized, should be a camel case. This is not a must, but you can, this is done to make your code easy to read. And the last type is long population of planet Earth. Semicolon to complete our declaration. This, my friends, is simple declaration of variables. Remind me of other variables. We have float, degrees for an example, right? And double. What can we use for a double? Help me out here. Let's say distance. Okay. These are our numerics. What else do we have? We have char. Let's say symbols. And we have, last but not least, Boolean. Let's call it flat. Or I will not confuse you with this concept at this stage. We're going to call it Boolean correct. Or let's go, I will show you why we used is correct. Correct can be anything, but when you say is correct, you can think of two options. Yes, it is correct, or no, it is not correct. That's why when you're naming a Boolean, you're going to use is, has, logical explanations like that. Okay? Awesome. I congratulate you. We have declared containers of byte, short, int, etc. types, right? And we named them. We have a container called hours. It is of type byte. We have a container called days. It is of type short. So why do we have these? For example, days container is bigger than hours container. If you remember, byte could hold values up to 127 positive numbers, whereas short could hold values up to 32,000 positive values, right? That's why this is a bigger container, right? Java dedicated 2 bytes of memory for this. Java dedicated 4 bytes of memory for this, and 8 bytes of memory for this, etc. Okay? Now, this is our declaration. We defined it, and we named it. Basically, declared variables are named containers. So we have 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 named containers. Let's add one more. We've also seen a special non-primitive called string, and we're going to call it string greeting and semicolon. Always remember your semicolon. Okay. If I continue writing here without a semicolon, right? If I move to the next line, can I use semicolon here? Yes, but this looks not good, right? So anytime compiler doesn't care about this space here. You remember we talked about spaces, but what it cares about is when you end your declaration, and you better end it right where it makes sense. Great, we've taken care of the first part of this video. We declared. Now let's look at assigning, right? So we declared these variables, but what did we do with them? Nothing. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to cut this video at this stage, and we're going to look into assigning variables from where we left off in our next video. Thank you for your time.